Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Steeler Nation, welcome back to another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. Thanks for that great intro, Andy, as always. And, of course, that jam. Love it, man. Hey, good to be back with you, Steelers Nation. And we got the trio tonight joining us from, who knows where. Let's check in. But anyhow, it's the famous TA joining us. Where you at tonight, brother? What part of the country are you in, man?
I am in Buffalo. I'd come up here and sit down with Josh Allen, you know. He said he was missing Mitch, so we're kind of working out a deal right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Other side of the Pennsylvania joining us, Freight Train in the house, bringing the heat.
AKA Baby Maker.
The Baby Maker.
JT, I think instead of saying on the other side of the border, we can just start saying that I'm a certain mileage away from East Palestine over the border. But as TA is over there in Buffalo fighting icy blizzard conditions, I was outside today in short sleeves helping our beloved builder bros side a house today in short sleeves, a cool and a warm 71 degrees here in the state of Ohio.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I was out there myself.
Spring is on the horizon, JT.
Sweeping off the porch. We actually we had dinner on the patio. Grilled out some chicken. On the Smoking Joe's, grilled some chicken.
Well, I can tell you spring ain't on the horizon up here in Buffalo. And if you were out there on the patio, you were eating frozen chicken.
Yeah. Don't lick any poles out there, TA. You might get your tongue stuck.
Yeah, no. Oh, but I did have something crazy happen to me first time, man. Driving down the highway, these people, they ain't even cleaning the ice off, man. There's probably about 4-inch thick of ice. Going down the highway, next thing I know, here comes this big old sheet of ice. Wham! Cracked my windshield, man. I was about scared me half to death.
Hey, Shane. Thanks for joining, brother.
And Larry, our favorite listener, Larry Stewart.
Listener, Larry. Hey, got your hat ordered, buddy. Hang in there.
Good day. He doesn't. He's lying to you, Larry.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Right here. Yeah, man. Hey, it's good to be back. Chatting Steelers. That's the off season. So, but we got a great schedule lined up for the off season, guys. How about it? We're going to iron out the details this week. Start ticking away, but we got something cool coming back. I'm excited. History forged in steel coming back. Freight Train bringing it back in the off season, man. So looking forward to it. A lot of cool dates to talk about too. Get us acclimated to the spring football schedule and activities and so forth. So let's bring it, man. Let's bring it to them. And we kicked around a few topics we'd love to get into too. Quarterback related, who's who, what's the latest rumor on who's going where and who's going to be our next this or that. So, yeah, man, good to be with you guys. Let's dig into it. So, Freight Train, since you put this together, man, let's talk about some of these dates. And then, when we get to College Day, TA can kick that around and we'll just throw some other ones. A big one I'm excited to talk about too is the official start date. But yeah, man, what do we got for official important NFL dates?
Well, first off, it's already passed, but we're going to reiterate it. February 21st was the opening date to designate franchise tags or transition players. Sorry,
well, it was easy for you to say.
Not as.
And guys, the franchise tag, it has to be designated and done by March 7th. So they have until March 7th to decide if they are franchise or transition tagging these players.
2
All right,
weeks.
so-
That's it, pretty much, right? Damn.
Yeah.
That's
So
not much.
we franchising anybody?
Not
No,
this year.
I don't think so. There's nobody really worthy. I mean, do
Mason.
you think Cam Sutton's worth top cornerback money? I mean, he
wasn't
would probably be
thinking-
the most.
I wasn't
most
thinking
worthy.
Cam. I was thinking Devin Bush, baby.
Oh my gosh. Yay. Buffalo is rubbing off on you, apparently. You've been up there too long. It's time to come get some home cooking.
They were holding out that extension last year just so they could tag him this year, right?
That's it. Actually, I'm just hoping that they don't tag Edmonds. I'm kind of curious if we're going to end up with dual brothers on the team again.
Oh,
that would be exciting.
We'll get into that more later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of time for
Don't
those.
spill all the beans.
Their wish list. All right. So franchise tags, not a big topic in Steeler Nation this year, although it has in past years. Who was our last franchise tag? E. Was it Bud?
TJ Watt.
Oh, TJ?
Yeah, we franchised him for 1 year and then we signed him to a big deal. If my memory serves me correctly.
correct?
PA, you're sitting there in silence. I'm 99% sure it's TJ Watt. Actually, Zach Farkash agrees with me that it's TJ Watt.
Okay. Thanks, Zach. Hey, buddy.
Thanks.
How you doing?
Thanks, Zach. It proves that I know what I'm talking about. I appreciate that.
How do we know Zach knows what he's talking about? You both could be wrong.
Look at his profile picture. He's
Odds
an
are good.
intellectual individual.
Odds are good.
Odds are good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stick with TJ Watt.
Yeah. I'll back him. I'll back Zach. I'm a Zach backer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought we were all friends.
So, yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. I thought it was just that kind of he was in the last year. But, all right. So what's next? Combine.
Yes. So February 28th through March 6th, we have the NFL Scouting Combine, one of the most exciting things of the offseason.
It is. I just got an email from NFL today about it. Did you get that email?
No.
With all the activities around.
It went straight to my spam folder.
Yeah. So some other stuff in the news. Steelers Omar was out scouting players recently too.
As he should be.
Yeah, as he should be. But certain black colleges.
Well, we've historically done well when we drafted in black colleges.
We have.
There's some great talent in there.
Bill Nunn started that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Steelers were the only team.
Yeah, we got arguably the best defensive lineman ever in the history of the NFL from a black college.
Oh, yeah? Who was that?
Mean Joe.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Texas Christian.
Sure.
Texas Christian. Nice.
Texas Christian.
All right. So anything big to come out of that we expect to see? We got anybody pegged that we want to watch? Anything like that for the combine? Or is it just going to be the show of...
I'm just going to watch the show. I'm not going to really particularly nail it down to one person. Like, I love the 40-yard dash. I want to see somebody run a 4.2, run a 4.1, break the record.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. They got a lot of activities doing around it. NFL's been doing a pretty good job with their programming and entertainment and so forth. I thought, it continued through the Super Bowl, and looks like they got Pro Bowl. Maybe not so much.
And that's what I was going to bring up, JT. Why don't we just do for the Pro Bowl? They do the same thing they do for the scouting combine. See if these guys actually still have it or not. Let's just do the combine all over again.
Yeah, there you go. Easy peasy. Probably save them, a bunch of millions of dollars. All right.
Before you do,
competitive.
I had to do a fact check, and Zach, you're absolutely right. It is Bud Dupree. It's not TJ Watt. TJ signed a contract extension, but Bud was the last franchise.
So, who you
stand
agreeing with? Who you agreeing with?
I'm agreeing with myself, but Zach went ahead and threw in there Bud Dupree, and he's absolutely right. He wasn't right the first time,
Wait a
so
minute.
I'm just putting it out there.
Who mentioned Bud Dupree before Zach did? No offense, Zach, but who was on that? Thank you very much.
Do we need to throw the red flag out here?
Yeah.
Do we need an instant replay?
You were like, who was the last one? I said Bud Dupree and TJ Watt. And everybody,
You know, I'm just a little offended because I threw out a name there, and then you guys automatically get on your keyboards and Google fact check me if it's everything I say.
Hey, you know why? Because we put only the facts out there to our fans.
But-
I can't have any baby maker, isms going on out here.
I got a lot going on right now. I can't
All
just
right.
Google everything. I just have to roll with it.
All
Try
right,
to
all right.
convince you.
Google man baby maker. All right. So the big day, free agency begins March 13th, runs for 2 days. Players can sign contracts with prospective teams at 4 p.m. New York time on the 15th. And it's also the start and end of the league year.
Mhm.
So that'll actually be the official start of our 5th season, boys.
Ooh,
bringing
5 years. Do
Fifth
we get
season?
what do you
Fifth
get for the
season.
5th year anniversary? Anything?
I don't know. I think we get a ring with like 5 big diamonds in it or something, don't we?
Oh, I don't know who's paying for that. Builder Bros, come to the plate.
Well, what do I get? A participation trophy? Because I haven't been here for 5 years.
I like the participation trophy. I'm going to work on that.
That's okay. You can have like 1 stone in it and room for 4 more.
There we go. There we go. Yes. I'll be like Thanos with the Infinity Stones. For each year, I'll get a new one. Maybe I'll have the whole fist like Tom Brady eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah. So all clubs have to be under the salary cap also by 4 p.m.
Yeah,
which we currently are not.
Not even close.
No,
Nope.
I doubt many teams are. So yeah, what else? Of course, the big day, draft day, April 27th. Draft begins Kansas City, Missouri.
Barbecue, baby. Barbecue.
Yes, sir.
It'd be interesting to see how they do it in Kansas City. They say anything where they're going to actually have it at? Are they going to have it down by the stadium? Or are they going to have it downtown?
It's got to be downtown somewhere, I would assume.
Do not know that. Maybe you can keep us updated on that.
Or maybe they'll have it at Burrowhead.
That's hard to say. Hard to say. All right, well, let's get in some news here. There's been some things happening.
Yeah, there certainly has. So we had a new hire, right? Aaron Curry replacing Brian Flores as inside linebackers coach.
Wait a minute. He didn't replace Brian Flores. He replaced Brian Flores and the man who's been with us for 22 years.
Well, yes.
Jerry O.
Olszewski.
It's kind of interesting, man. I kind of want to hit upon this. Is it, since we haven't heard nothing official from the Steelers organization yet, do we feel that this was a firing, or do you think that Jerry O is walking away due to his wife passing away a year and a half ago, and he's just had enough? He stayed around to go ahead and work, because most people work through a morning session. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Somebody dies, a loved one, you go back to work, you hit it. Mm-hmm. Now that it's settled, 22 years with the same organization, do you think we're going to find him on the Minnesota Vikings, sideline next year with Brian Flores, and that was the move on why we're doing this? Or do you think he's just finally hanging it up? Because he's been with us a long time.
Well, and that's what you kind of hit it. What I was going to say was, you sometimes you work through morning. I think maybe he convinced himself that, well, this is what she would have wanted. She would have wanted me to continue what my life's work was, working for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think once that year and a half passed, he kind of was just like, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. And it's kind of walking away on his own terms.
And it is, and you got to realize, 22 years with us. I mean, he's given his all, man. I mean, you can't say nothing bad against Jerry O.
Oh,
But
dude bleeds black and gold, man.
oh, absolutely. But I will say this: I am kind of excited about this Aaron Curry because just due to the simple fact he was drafted in 2009 by the Seattle Seahawks. He was the 4th overall pick, but he really didn't have that first round career per se. However,
Pedigree.
yeah, he didn't have that pedigree. However, what I do like about him is he was the defensive assistant coach. He has coached linebackers. He has coached the defensive line. But I think more so what I think he brings to the table is the new way defenses are being ran today, where you have to be able to cover the slot receiver. You have to be able to cover the tight end. You have to have that guy who is able to coach that. And nothing against Jerry O, but Jerry O's time wasn't worrying about all that stuff. Not like it is in today's NFL.
No, those inside backers were just run stuffers. Levon Kirkland. I mean, Greg Lloyd, run stuffers. Now, some of those guys are pretty cool. Lloyd, he was pretty quick on there. But these days, with this RPO and these running quarterbacks, now the game's changed, man. Just like you say, you got to bring some fresh idea in there because you can't let that be the weakness. How many times have we seen that soft zone over the middle? Tight ends taking advantage of that, and we just never could find the answer to covering the Gronks and the Kelseys of the world.
Right. And JT, I'm gonna piggyback off you and TA. Back to you were talking about Levon and the run stuffing. That even moved into with Larry Foote and James Ferrier. Those guys were very, very good in the run game as well. And with TA, what I really like about this hiring is it is a younger coach, a younger minded, up to date kind of coach. It's not a kind of a has been kind of coach. And if you look at the Seattle Seahawks, especially in the past 4 to 5 years, they've had very, very solid linebacker play. You want to talk about coaching and needing people to be able to cover. This guy helped coach one of the best cover middle linebackers in Bobby Wagner.
Oh, Bobby Wagner is the bomb out there, and you're absolutely right.
And Cam Chancellor. Chancellor was really good out there. So he has a track record within these past 4 years with Seattle to bring over here to help kind of rejuvenate our middle linebacker position.
Yeah, so I got a thumbs up on this. I'm interested to see what it's going to do, and let's face it, he's going to have a whole brand new inside linebacker crew. Because about the only one I can see us keeping is Robinson at this time, with the possibility of restructuring Miles Jack's contract. I don't think they quite want to give up that veteran leadership. And Jack had a very good year with us. Coming over, learning the defense. I think he's worth keeping if we can restructure that contract. But other than that, look for us to do a little bit of maneuvering in the offseason to give him some tools to work with.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
Going off of that too, I do want to say, John Mitchell, God bless you, brother, retiring defensive line coach, assistant coach. Man, you have been there through thick and thin, man. And you're going to be sorely missed. I'm kind of curious on who we're going to get to go ahead and replace him.
I'm hoping we follow the same kind of philosophy that we did with Aaron Curry.
Do you want somebody that new, or do you want somebody who, I mean, this is the trenches we're talking about. The trenches haven't really changed much over the years. I mean, do we go ahead and promote Carl Dunbar? I mean, he's done a fantastic job with that line last year. I mean, I think the guy is definitely well qualified. I don't know if we're going to move him up to assistant coach like Mitchell was. But somebody's got to play that assistant coach role, and that hasn't been named yet. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go with this.
Well, you got to treat a coaching staff kind of like your players. As the game evolves, so do the players. you have to do the same thing with your coaching staff. You're not going to see guys with jobs 20 plus years anymore. The game is always constantly changing. So will coaching staffs.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that we're not going to go ahead and interview Rex Ryan as well?
God, I hope not.
I gotta touch on that. Did anybody find the humor in that? I mean, Rex was a great defensive minded coach. Do not get me wrong. Rex in the day was the bomb. But I'd really like to know what Sean was thinking when he said, you know what, Rex, I know you've been sitting on your keister for the last couple of years enjoying ESPN. Why don't you come on back down the sideline and throw a little bit of your old school defense in there. Bring it back a little bit of Buddy Ryan, you know. Let's see what kind of juices you still got left. Did anybody find that interesting?
Yeah, I don't understand his philosophy there. Not to mention they traded their best defensive player last year at the trade deadline. I mean, that defense really isn't that great to begin with. So they need a lot of pieces for Rex Ryan's defense to work.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And Broncos did go ahead and hire a defensive coordinator. They picked him up today. They brought back in Vance Joseph. I'm not quite sure I agree with that. Vance has been bounced around here quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you guys have heard the good news, haven't you?
I've heard all kinds of good
news. I was
news.
just getting to that. Yeah, man. Wake up, people. Good news. Break it down. TA, drop it, man.
I'm going to drop it right here. You heard it here first. Mason Rudolph wants to come back, but he's not. We're releasing him. We're trading Mitch to the Ravens because we are bringing in Lamar, baby. He's on his way. Oh. Breaking news right here. Lamar Jackson, running back, boys.
Boy, that took a wrong turn.
That wasn't what you were expecting, was it?
No, not at all, TA. Oh.
No, but
man.
In all seriousness,
off-season.
In all seriousness, I mean, do we really think that Rudolph is considering coming back to the Steelers?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't see how he can, honestly.
You know, and I get that, but you know what? I got thinking about this. If someone's going to pay me $5 million to hold a clipboard, you know what? You can humiliate me all you want because I'm the one laughing to the bank.
Hey, a lot of guys make a career out of that. Look at Chad Henne. He got 2 Super Bowls out of being a career backup.
Right. I mean, so, you know, I wouldn't blame Rudolph if he stuck around another year if we did trade Mitch.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have some other veteran leadership in that backup role. I just don't know.
Like who?
I just can't see him coming back as many times as, you know, he's been told this and it's ended up being that. And he just never really, you know, could get a stranglehold on actually being the starter. I don't like the idea of him coming back. I'd rather get somebody new in there, somebody that's more of a veteran to talk to Kenny about things.
Baby maker.
Again.
Once a cuckold, always a cuckold. I mean, it's just the bottom line.
He's just the Steelers whipping boy, man.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well keep him.
See, the thing is, though, if something does happen to Kenny, there's he can't come. I don't believe in him coming in and winning games.
I didn't say anything about believing in him, but I did say that.
Then why keep him?
Why not?
He's one injury away from being the starter.
It gives the fans something to bitch about.
It's good radio fodder, man. Let's put it that way. Good podcast fodder.
Right. I mean, all the newspapers will dry up tomorrow without Rudolph there.
Let's face it. Since AB, man, it's been kind of dry as far as drama around here. And Ben going away.
You know what it is, JT? He wants Baker Mayfield.
I did not say that.
Now
you're putting words in my
mouth.
mouth.
No, I can see it right now. Baker.
Dude.
I'm not. No. I honestly, the name that comes to my mind is somebody like the
Sam
Red
Darnold.
Rocket.
The Red
No,
Rocket.
the
Why
Red
would you
Rocket,
bring
the Red Rifle?
why would you bring Andy Dalton in here?
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Hey, he's still got something in there.
Yeah, red hair. That's all he's got.
I'm just saying somebody along those lines. You know what I mean? He's been in the AFC North. He knows AFC North football. Andy Dalton actually did not have a terrible career in Cincinnati.
Well,
It
that
was not a
People are
terrible
gonna
career.
Hey, I would take Baker Mayfield with the trade for Rudolph and a heartbeat, dude. It's a backup quarterback.
No.
Yeah,
No,
I'd rather have
you don't
Baker
want
than I
Baker.
would the
No,
Red
you
Rocket.
don't.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what you two are on, but you do not want that dude. I'm telling you do not want Baker Mayfield.
All right. So
move
who,
Anybody
besides-
that's listening, please comment on that and tell them they're a bunch of knuckleheads.
Could be worse. We could do a hell of a lot worse. Hey, I heard there's a rocket scientist up for looking for a job again.
he is. I mean, Josh is out there. I mean,
He's out there.
He's out there. I mean, and the last thing I want to hear, I do not want to hear anybody talk about Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater,
No,
Jacoby
no.
Brisket. I mean, all of those guys. I mean, I can see the paper already. Even a Blaine Gabbert or Minshew. Oh, let's bring in Minshew. If all of those quarterbacks are mentioned, we might as well keep Rudolph. At least we're dancing with the devil we know.
Can't disagree with that there, TA. As much as I'd love to bash the whole concept into
What
the
about
ground.
what about this scenario? What
Tom
if
Brady?
No. No.
Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there.
What about this scenario? I mean, I know you
Whatever
guys
you've
are going to
got
call
over
me
there, I want
crazy.
some.
You call me
Whatever you're
crazy.
drinking.
What happens if Atlanta decides to move on from Marcus Mariota and we bring in Mariota as a backup?
Why? He hasn't been a great backup anywhere he's been.
He's been respectable.
What do you Mason's been respectable when you compare their stats together.
A late
Yeah,
interception by
really.
Minkah Fitzpatrick to beat him this year.
Look, if we were going to bring in somebody, you want to know really, here would be a true name. All right. And you're probably going to sound, this is crazy. But if we were looking at somebody who may be dependable, but maybe, that would be Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem,
Casey Kasem.
the top 50 hits.
Yep.
Case Keenum, you mean?
They just keep on coming. The hits just keep on coming.
Hey, Josh McCown, you want to come out of retirement and play for your 32nd NFL team?
Oh man.
No, but I mean, when you
gonna
really
be the
look,
fun of the off season there, playing with that one.
I just don't see a scenario where Mason comes back. I really don't.
well,
I think Mason would take just about any offer to get the hell out of Pittsburgh. I think.
well, he's not on an XFL team or the USFL, so he ain't got too many offers.
Yeah, he has to wait till March 13th through the 15th to negotiate with teams. Have you been paying attention to the show, TA?
Well, if you're
It was
saying
literally
it, I'm
just
not.
last segment.
I'm not sure I believe you. I need to look at those dates too. Let me get
Google
on my
it.
keyboard.
Fact check me, Facebook.
So you're saying that we could see Rudolph in a USFL uniform?
No, he'll be on an NFL team.
Him
I
and
just don't think it's going to be on the Steelers.
him and Landry?
No.
No. All right.
Maybe
I
he can
thought
go
Landry
back up
was
AJ
selling
McCarron.
insurance right about now.
He probably is. Anybody know what Doug Flutie's doing?
Yeah. T90 or whatever.
Well, either way, I mean, we're gonna have to
Selling
look at
testosterone booster.
right. But I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I think the best scenario here that we have is we could all sit here and say Mitch wants to start and wants to be released or traded or whatever. And there by God is that that possibility. But if we can't get a good enough trade value for him then I think
he's a free agent. We're not trading him. He's a free
No,
No, he's
agent.
not.
No,
We
he's not.
signed him to
He's
a
signed.
2-year deal.
Yeah, he's signed for one more year.
Yeah.
Thanks,
He's
Kevin
stuck.
Colbert.
So the only thing we can do is release him or trade him.
Right.
But if we do keep him, he's got to take a pay cut.
Yeah, he's due what?
8 million. Yep.
I
He says, Jesus. I mean, look, Mason's getting 5 mil. I mean, it's only another 3 mil. I mean, well, what the heck? I mean, backup quarterback pays very, very well in the NFL.
It's lucrative.
It's very lucrative.
Well, hey, Steeler Nation, don't forget to check us out. We're on every Thursday night. We're going to go live, continue doing it for you guys so you can see our crazy looks. And but anyhow, yeah, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channels every Thursday night. We'll be here with you. So love to tune in too. And put your hat in the ring for some guests. What do you think, guys? Could pick up some guests in the off season. We'd love to have some of these guys jump on instead of just texting us. Jump on with us. Give us your live comments too. So, what do you think?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We might find a replacement for Baby Maker.
Go ahead. Be my guest.
So, hey, you know, while we kind of got a break in the action, I want to talk about a local signing too, or the latest signing rather. But, hey, we got to give a plug out for our sponsor, Builder Bros. BuilderBros.org is their website. But tell us more about Builder Bros. Freight Train, you were out there with short sleeves today.
I was today. I was putting hammer to nail for Builder Bros today, doing some siding work today.
Nice.
Yes. It looks very, very nice.
Still use nails?
Yes.
Really?
1.5 inch nails.
And
but
just
guys,
just so you know, Steelers Nation, this is really how we get our sponsors. We've got to now work for Builder Bros.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta earn it. Yeah, I'm like the Mason Rudolph of Builder Bros.
Well, tell us about holding a clipboard and how you didn't get shingled out.
So, guys, the reason why these people got new siding on their home is they filed a storm damage claim and Builder Bros got their insurance company to totally re-side their home.
Nice.
Now,
It's
Builder
not easy to
Bros.
do.
Yes. Builder Bros is a company with a vision to help those in need after Mother Nature creates havoc on your home. So if you have missing shingles, or like this case, have missing or damaged siding, or if water has damaged the inside of your home as a result, if you feel like you may be intimidated from your insurance company and not sure how to, or if you should file a claim, Builder Bros is there to help you turn your home into everything you've ever dreamed of. So Builder Bros has insurance claim specialists that work for both you and your insurance provider to help you file your storm damage claim and maximize your policy to save you thousands of dollars. They're going to help you turn your dream into reality. What are you going to do? Call Builder Bros today and sit back and let them do the dirty work for you. And better yet, don't even call them. Go to their website, builderbros.org, and they will reach out to you. Don't get shingled out by your insurance, folks. Go to builderbros.org.
Nice. There it is.
JT, is it time?
I wanted to share something. I had that up there.
You sharing something?
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But
What do you have to share?
I don't. That's the problem.
Oh.
What I wanted to share, I could not. But yeah, man, I'm excited for it. And we let's see. We're gonna have to we're just gonna have to manually launch it, man. And now it's time
Yes.
for what? Freight Train.
History forged in steel. JT, play that funky music, white boy. Where's it at?
Yeah, it's not on here. That's what I was looking for. I can't find it. So we'll have to we'll dig that up while you go ahead. But
So
yeah,
we
man,
got no
let's tell us
funky music.
Tell us about it here. Let's see.
All right. I'm just going to get at it here. Enough. People are sweating by the excitement of knowing
You've
what
got
is
'em
on
hanging
History
there.
Forged and Steel.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Yes. All right. We're going to rip it here.
My bad.
February 1st, 2009, baby. Steelers win at the time an NFL leading 6th Super Bowl championship and a 27-23 win over the Arizona Cardinals. What is your guys' most iconic moment of that Super Bowl? Is it all the same? Is it the catch at the end?
No, James Harrison trucking
Has
that.
to be.
Yes.
Yeah, trucking the interception back.
Yeah.
I mean, because sitting on the edge of your seat, is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it?
Yeah.
And just the will to get in there. And don't get me wrong, Santonio Holmes' catch was phenomenal. You couldn't have placed that ball any better. We all was at the edge of our seats as well too, but
yeah. And another iconic moment in that game, just kind of circling back to Santonio Holmes, is he had 3 huge catches in that last drive to even set that catch up. And he had just before that throw, missed a game-winning touchdown. So the will to take over that game by Santonio Holmes, what a valiant effort.
But I did always question, even though San Antonio did a great job, don't get me wrong, that might have been Ben's best Super Bowl, and he still didn't get no love.
Yeah. Well, that takes us into the Richard Mendenhall thing, but that's a prior episode, so we won't get into that again. So, moving on to the next one. It's another February 1st, guys. February 1st of 1972, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Franco Harris in the first round. Guys, the NFL draft used to be in February.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, that's right. It did. Yeah.
But let's ask this. How many games were there in a season back then?
Would be what? 12?
In
Counting the
72,
playoffs?
In 72, I think it was 12, and then it went to 14.
Yeah. Better Google that one.
I'll
Another
do
fact
that
check.
later.
So,
Where's that
moving
algorithm when you need it?
Moving to another one.
Yeah.
February 10th of 1982, Joe Green retired from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, those are two. Do you think those are the two most iconic Steelers? Franco Harris and Mean Joe Green. When people think the Pittsburgh Steelers, are 9 times out of 10, do you think they're going to say one of those two names?
Yeah,
you have really pretty good chance of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, you got your Lynn Swann too, and Terry Bradshaw.
And you can't forget the vampire.
That's it, Lambert.
Yeah.
58.
Now, do you think here in the next 5 years, as the generation gets younger, bye baby boomers, that person will turn into Ben Roethlisberger, and these guys will kind of be like, yeah, they're good old guys, but when I think Pittsburgh Steelers, I think of Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, probably for a lot of this younger generation, yeah. I mean, even like CJ, he'll tell you, he's like, that's the only Steelers quarterback I've ever known.
Right. Now, do you think now that Pittsburgh has, and I'm not trying to prolong the show here, I just been thinking about this. Do you think that the number 7 will be the next retired number? However many years it may be to get to that point, but do you think that number 7 is next to be retired?
I don't think so. I just read something on this
because look, if they haven't retired 12, they're not retiring 7.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know if maybe since Ben holds all the Steelers quarterback records, if that's why he would leapfrog number 12. Minus the 4 Super Bowls.
He doesn't hold all of them. He doesn't have 4. Yeah, he doesn't have the 4 rings, so he doesn't hold all of them.
No,
right.
He's got a lot of the
statistical records, I should say.
Yeah. No, I just don't see it. Look, we're the only team with only 3 retired uniforms. That's not in the Steelers. It's not the Steelers way.
Right. No, and I know it would be it would take a long time to get to that point.
Now, I mean,
But nobody has worn that number either since.
right. We can go down that road too on what numbers have not been worn for a long, long time.
Right.
That'd be a good show.
Yeah, but
So
at the end of the day, yeah.
So what you guys are saying is we will probably never see a number 7 under center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not necessarily officially retired, but kind of retired-ish.
It's going to be interesting because 7 is such an iconic quarterback number, just like 8 is. So when you look at that, how many quarterbacks do you know out there that were winning quarterback with number 6 or number 5? How about number 4? There's no love for those numbers.
I don't know.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now, number 1, I can see that maybe at some point in time, but I mean, yeah, I just don't see it. There's not enough uniforms. There's not enough numbers unless we start going into triple digits and your starting quarterback, James Bond 007, takes the field. I mean, if
Brett
we get to
Favre,
that point, maybe.
4. Brett Favre.
Oh, yeah, Brett Favre 4.
Tommy Maddox 8.
But
Well,
I mean,
we're talking about Super Bowl winning quarterbacks here. I mean, if anybody's mad that Kenny Pickett is wearing number 8 because of Tommy Gunn, I think it's time to. I think that ship has sailed.
What do you guys think is the most popular number for quarterback?
7.
It's going to be 12. It's going to be 12.
Well, yeah, because Tom Brady and Bradshaw.
Jim Kelly.
Hold
Hold it up here.
Joe
Kelly,
Montana was 12 too, wasn't he?
Bob Greasy. Joe Namath. John Brody.
What was Joe Montana? Because I
14.
thought Brady wore 12 because of Joe Montana.
Let me see. I don't think this list is complete.
That's it. I'm Googling you guys.
Yeah. But that's first couple. Those are retired. I'm sorry. Those are retired jerseys.
16 was Joe.
16.
12.
Yep.
12 is here is an article. 12 is the most popular quarterback number.
So at least I got that part right.
Yeah, and they're saying like, yeah, it's because like they often want to wear the number in honor of their idols who they idol growing up. So, interesting trivia. Pretty much figured that was the number though.
Right. And JT, I put this last one in for you. I did you a solid on History Forged in Steel. So February 11th of 2001, JT, do you remember that day? I'm sure you do.
That was a big day for Pittsburghers and Steeler Nation, and even Pirates fans too.
Yeah.
The implosion of the bowl, Three River Stadium.
Yeah,
that was a crazy day. Yeah,
and
love to have a pair of those seats somewhere, wouldn't you? CA, like down in your man cave or somewhere, just a small row of them, 3 or 4 of them. For me,
they're out there, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
JT, I've looked at a couple. I mean, just like for just to have 2 chairs is like almost $1,000.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys? So I didn't have the privilege to go to Three Rivers Stadium. Now, for you guys that did get to go to Three Rivers Stadium, did that stadium kind of have a persona of kind of like how old Yankee Stadium was? That was the stadium that the all-time greats and all-time Steelers played in.
No, well, yeah, it did. It did. I mean, you'd have to kind of go back to Forbes Field and for the Pirates, but as far as that goes, yeah, a lot of that generation. I mean, that's where the Steelers became the Super Bowl Steelers, and came out of nowhere too. So a lot of history in that bowl as well for the Steelers as the Pirates as well too.
Right.
Pittsburgh Pirates. As a matter of fact, that was my first Three Rivers experience. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. My dad took me to a Pirate game. And I just remember walking up the rotunda, just back and forth and back and forth and back. And it didn't matter which gate you went into to get up there. That's what you did. You remember that, right? Just
Back and forth
the whole way up there. And I remember getting up to the top there, and we started walking around. It's a big bowl. Started walking around there. And in the first opening for the seats, I looked out there, and as an 8-year-old kid, the green and the expansion of the whole thing, you saw the whole bowl of the field there. It was a memory for a lifetime, man. So that was the first time, and I got to see Roberto Clemente play.
Cool.
Before he was killed. Yeah, we got to see him play.
TA, do you want to elaborate on your Three Rivers?
You always just hope that you wasn't sitting next to a pylon because it obstructed the view.
Yeah. There's pillars. Yeah, no doubt,
Yep.
man. That's a good point. Point.
You was always where am I sitting? Damn it, I hope I'm not by a damn pylon or a pillar. Son of a bitch. Because then it's ducking and beaving and bobbing. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We
There
had
you go, man.
personal first history Forged in Steel for the new football season.
And now
Steelers Realm.
it's time for Steelers Realm's History Forged in Steel.
And there it was.
It was.
Better late than never.
Let's call it the outro. How about that? Nice. So, what else? Anything else before we wrap up here? What kind of anything other off-season news? Of course, we talked about the signings and the coaching and everything like that. And of course, the rumor. What's going on with Lamar Jackson, man?
Oh my!
I mean, seriously, it's just
guys. There's actually a sliver of a chance that we could have a Le'Veon Bell situation with Lamar Jackson. That if he gets franchise tags, he could sit out because especially a quarterback does not want to play under a franchise tag.
And let's face it, we seen how well it worked out with Le'Veon.
Yeah. Well,
guys, do you actually see a scenario where Lamar's not in Baltimore anymore?
Possibly. I think there's still a chance of that.
Look, if it's starting to come out and bubble to the top, I mean, you could look at this one or two ways. There's a lot of truth behind this, or this is just his agent ruffling feathers to force the Ravens to make a move. And the one thing that I don't see the Ravens doing, just like the Steelers, I don't see them being forced to do anything. They're not going to set a precedent for years to come. They're not that type of organization, just like we were not that type of organization. So if this is the path that his agent wants to take, it's probably not going to end very, very well for Lamar and or the Baltimore Ravens.
Now, do you think that it could actually move into essentially like a sign and trade kind of deal? So Baltimore doesn't get stuck with nothing. They could essentially trade Lamar to, let's say, the Atlanta Falcons, who have a top 10 pick and need a quarterback. They could trade him to Atlanta for their draft pick, maybe Desmond Ritter, and then maybe try to see if they can get somebody like Bryce Young out of Alabama, who is essentially almost the same type of quarterback. Runs a lot, but actually probably has a better arm than Lamar, let's face it.
I mean, that's not a bad analogy when you look at it. I mean, the Ravens would be getting a quarterback with still 4 years left on his contract. He's got the legs in Ritter. And then if you pick up Bryce as a backup to groom him in case Ritter doesn't work out, absolutely. And you could see Lamar down there in Atlanta because Atlanta seems to like running quarterbacks. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
So it's very possible, but I think this is going to be a situation that you're going to, up until March 15, it could go either way at this point in time.
Yeah. Because if they took that route, they really wouldn't have to really change their offensive philosophy that they've built around Lamar.
No, they won't. But I think come the 15th, we'll see the franchise tag get slapped on him, and then it'll be Lamar's next move. But
JT, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm up in the air on that one. I think there's a possibility that could go either way. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts. Here, wanted to throw this out here. Nice big plug here. Check it out.
There it is.
So, one last thought: has anybody watched the XFL?
I have.
And what do you think of the little gimmicks that they've got? JT, have you seen it? Do you know the gimmicks that they've had?
We were chatting the other night, and I was like, "Oh, damn, I missed it." Maybe I think it was with CJ or somebody. One of you guys was chatting with. Like, "Ah, damn, I missed it." And then here, is it on? Is it on now?
Thursday night XFL, baby.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So check it out.
I actually genuinely enjoyed it.
Tune in while you're watching XFL and listen in your heads, like put an earplug in, put an earbud in, and listen to Steelers Realm live while you watch the XFL. And then you can comment, keep us posted. It could be our eye in the sky, so to speak, for our XFL eye in the sky, man.
Yeah. And that's like that because last week was the first week of it, correct? TA?
Correct.
We had some massive comebacks at the end. I mean, teams up by 15 points with like a minute to go end up losing the game because they've added a 3-pointer.
Well, they've got the 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point conversion, instead of going for the field goal. And then you've got the onside kick now at the 25 in your 4th and 15. I mean, they took a lot of things that has been passed around in the NFL as an idea, and they've actually implemented it. So it is interesting to see. But there was a good article out, and I got to give Trib, I got to give them credit because, as a fan, if we were the Steelers and we were up, let's say 21 points, and then you had that option to have all those gimmick plays, and then we ended up losing after a great defensive game, and then I'm not sure if I'd like that rule. And
but these coaches will adjust. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's an adjustment you can get.
How are you going to adjust to it when the NFL is already making it more and more difficult on the defense to play football? Because let's face it, we're in an offensive league. They love that Super Bowl. They love to see the high scoring, but it makes it tougher on the defense. I mean, can you imagine if Mel Blount played today? Mel Blount wouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame. He'd be ejected in jail, but he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think at some point you've got to keep that balance between the offense and the defense to make it or keep it to its roots. I mean, if we're going to go to this kind of style of play, don't get me wrong, it's interesting, it's fun to watch. I just don't think it has a place in the NFL unless we want to turn this into Arena League football and we go ahead and put the quarterback in a dress and we put a couple flags around his ankles and we go from there.
Well, no, I don't want to see that in the NFL, but I do like watching it in the XFL.
Yeah, how about we just have something else to watch football-wise?
Well, and I think that's the great thing. It's going to be interesting to see if the XFL and USFL even survive, because I've been a proponent of having some kind of farm league, because to be honest with you, one of the names that seem to keep popping up right now is a possibility to land in Pittsburgh, Martavius Bryant. Cam's come out and said he needs another chance in the NFL. I wouldn't be opposed to having Martavius Bryant back.
One of the most talented receivers we had at the time. One of the most talented physically. Dude, I watched him in training camp. It's his rookie year in training camp. We drafted him. But
he had to do one thing, TA. One thing. It's nobody's fault but Martavius's fault why he's not in the NFL. It's nobody else's fault. Why should we continuously bend our backs to get this guy back in the league when he doesn't reciprocate it on his actions?
But
for every action, there's a reaction, and he got the reaction.
But what was his action? What was his action?
Put down.
Okay, today.
Simple as that.
But
I think we just experienced the silver streak.
But in today's NFL,
and run over.
In today's NFL, I don't have to put the bong down.
Okay. That's today's NFL. That wasn't today's NFL. Wasn't 3-4 years ago when he was here. So, if he had trouble following the rules then, What makes you think he's going to not have trouble following the rules now?
Because it was a rule of smoking dope. That was the only thing that got him bounced. If he's allowed to smoke dope now and he can catch the ball and read a play, why not for a veteran backup?
That's not our style, TA. You know that.
What's not our style?
That's just not our style to have people like that. There's a standard that needs to be followed.
Wait a second.
And when you start straying away from that standard
of not smoking
is when
dope,
it hits the fan.
How many dope smokers have we had on this team?
Where do you want to
Le'Veon
start?
Bell.
Where do you want to start?
Garrett Blunt.
Right. I mean, so what do you mean it's not us?
Are they here?
The whole NFL smokes dope. They just
how long were they here?
They were here for Le'Veon Bell was here for 7 years.
Yeah.
How long was LeGarrette Blunt here?
Well,
1 day?
LeGarrette Blunt, no, he was here until he walked off the field.
Half the season.
But you got to remember, we didn't get rid of him. He walked off.
He walked off.
Okay.
Yeah, he walked. He pulled
the.
Yep, he did the first AB. He just didn't strip his clothes off.
Right. He left.
And I'll tell you right now, guys, we have Martavis Bryant already on this team. We have the same style receiver on this team, and we didn't even utilize him correctly.
If he can hold on to the ball.
Wait a second. Are you wait, I think you two are talking two different wide receivers.
Yeah, two different people. Yeah. I'm not talking about Deontay Johnson, Jake. I'm not talking about tennis ball boy. I'm talking about George Pickens.
Well, there's no denying that. But I think Deontay is physically talented, very close as well too.
But Martavis Bryant was like 6'5" and lanky. You know what I mean?
And elusive.
Yeah, but I think Martavius was more of a Plaxico Burress than he was a George Pickens.
We'll see. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, right. Two different eras too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm just saying, we've already had him here, and we saw how that turned out. Now you want him back after how many years out of the league, and he just so happens to get into the XFL, who needs players. You got to think about it. They're essentially a new league. They need everybody that wants to sign up. Well, and you want to all of a sudden bring him back. Now that he's back in the news.
Look, I didn't say bring him back. I said it's a possibility, and I wouldn't be against it.
It's not a possibility. No.
Why isn't it?
It's not a. We've
already
already been there. You want to bring AB back too? Why not?
No. Hell
Why
no.
not? Let's just bring him back. Killer bees again.
That's it.
No.
And Morris, while you're
talking night and day. If AB would have smoked some, if AB would have smoked some dope, he might not have gone as batshit crazy as he did.
Hey, maybe if we have P squared and B squared, we'll get TDs. Who knows?
We just might. All you got to do is watch Puff the Magic Dragon.
That's it.
Yeah, well, Martavis has watched that.
Hey guys, throw your thoughts out there on the Steelers Nation Facebook users group, man. Steelers Nation local number 724. Good stuff posting there regularly. We're getting some good feedback, guys. Join up. We had some new members join just yesterday, I believe it was too. So Facebook Steelers Nation local number 724. And by the way, I just heard from Bubba. Speaking of 724 from a Triple B Experience podcast, third week in October, buddy. He's tying a knot.
Wow! Congratulations, Bubba.
Yeah, I'm going to break it for him, but yeah, wedding bells are there. So,
wow.
Yeah, congratulations for him too. But he throws a lot of stuff out there too. So, and certainly helps us out too. Give a shout out. Check us out. Steelers Nation local number 724. So what else, guys, before we put a plug in it here?
Put a plug in it, JT.
Plug it up. Plug it up. Go
hey,
Casey
Corey checked in and said bring him back.
I know. I like Corey.
That's a very Corey thing to say.
Bring him back. Yeah. So, well, hey, guys, good to chat with you again, man. We'll see what this week brings. And I guess we'll go from there. So,
yeah,
good to see you guys once again. Hey, CJ, he was off tonight. Have a good week out there too, brother. just got some gear. He stopped over to drop off some gear tonight too.
Oh,
Corey's just around the
CJ's getting
corner.
ready for spring training, baby. He's in spring training mode right now. I can
Yeah,
see
he
it.
is. We're getting there too. They're ramping up basketball, heading right into baseball, man. I got my team assignment assisting. I didn't get a team this year, but I'm assistant, and that'll be fun. I'm assistant on both teams this year, the travel team and the little league team. So that'll be cool. Hey George, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate
You guys are getting all geared up for the Pirates season. Then you're out of contention within 2 months.
Oh yeah. Hey, we gotta love them while you can.
Yeah.
That's a very short window. Of course, when you talk to my father-in-law and my dad, old Papa's son, oh yeah, it's like late August, and we're watching a Steeler game. He's like, "Hey, tune in with what are the Pirates doing? What are the Buccos doing?" I'm like, Dad, they've lost over 100 games. What do you care? Oh, I watch them every day. They're out there, man.
That's those old timers for you, though. That's what they were raised on.
George, I love the wording you put there.
He was a beast, man. He was a beast. I'll never forget that year in training camp. He made people look like they were in slow motion. Yeah. So, but anyhow, guys, yeah, man, good to go.
Yeah. Cool.
Get that hard ball out. Get that glove warmed up. In your guys' case, get those hands leathered up.
That's right. It's going to be here soon, TA.
That's it. Vintage baseball, for those of you who don't know it. Two vintage baseball players.
1860 rules, baby.
Yeah.
Real man baseball. Don't let TA fool you. He is the bench coach.
Steelers Nation, have a good evening.
Steelers Nation, thanks for coming on this ride once again in the realm. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Peace out. Careful in the hot tub, Steeler Nation. We're out of here. Catch you next time.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.